Hello all, this is just a little brief update on my Pioneer RG-1 dynamic processor that I've managed to repair, probably more by luck than skill, but nevertheless I did manage to get her fixed up. So what we had was I bought this thing off of one of our used sites. I used Victoria, it's like Craigslist around here. And basically I got it and found out that it was in really good shape cosmetically and everything. But when I plugged it in, I was getting weak right channel and non-existent left channel, despite the fact I was getting some good meter readings off the expansion meters. But nevertheless, it was experiencing significant problems. So I decided I would undertake it as a restoration project. So the first thing I thought was amiss was the switching and the controls. And so what I did was I ended up, if you can actually see in here, you can see back in here, you can see the switching cans. There's two of them, one for each of these switches. So what I did was I opened it up from the bottom. I removed the cans off the little daughter boards that they're sitting on. Strip those completely apart. You have to uncrimp them. I have some videos in here showing how I did it. Or some stills, I think they were. And I found out that the contact sliders and the contacts themselves were just gunked up. They were black with age and oxidization and gunk that had got inside them, I guess. These things aren't airtight switches, which is of course, open to oxygen and oxidation and all that stuff. So anyway, so I tore it apart, cleaned them up with a emery file, I guess, and just gently abraded them so that scraped off all the black oxidation and everything. And then I hit it with some D5 contact cleaner. And I did likewise with the rotary switches here as well to clean up these switches as well. I didn't do anything with a power switch because it's either working or it's not, and it's working good. And so then I replugged it in, and of course I noted that the right channel actually came back. So it was so some form of oxidation was causing some of the diminished capability of the expansion unit, and the left channel was still out. So then I went to Audio Karma and got some recommendations. So that was the first recommendation I got, was to clean the switching and make sure that wasn't the problem. And then the other one was to check the problematic transistors, and there's 12 known ones. They're S2SC1312Fs and 2SA725Fs, and there's 6 of each on each channel. And here you can see the main board, and it's basically totally identifying them. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think that's the 6th one. So, and then they're mirrored on this side, so left and right channel. So I decided I would attempt swapping those out. So I did. Spent an evening just carefully going through them and desoldering them and putting them back in. And rather than carry on, because my plan is to change out all the old caps, and so I've ordered everything. I ordered all the transistors and all the caps for this board, and it came out to like $35 or whatever it was through Mauser. So not that expensive, and for basically rejuvenating an old board. So certainly the electrolytics are probably starting to get out of tolerance. So we'll be proceeding next on that and changing out all those right after I've shot this video, basically. And just want to give you a little demonstration. Let's see how. I just got this Roger Hodgson disc on here, so I'll use that as a demo, I guess. So here it is with just the phono input, and so now I'm going to the tape monitor loop, and of course this is fed into tape 1 on my integrated amplifier. I have nothing on the tape monitor loop because there's another tape monitor loop, because you're using up a tape monitor on the unit itself. So of course when I switch it, there's nothing there because I'm not using the tape loop on here. I don't have any tape decks. So I switch that on, working fantastic. And then of course I can bypass the processor. So right now I'm just listening to it straight through. So if I adjust any of these, nothing should happen, which is exactly what it does. Oh, I should film here. So if you see I'm adjusting the input level, nothing's changed because I've got the processor bypassed in the off position. And then, so if I turn the input level down, switch up, you should basically hear silence. And then as I turn the input level up, now it comes back. So it's working perfectly. And then I also, I'll turn it up a bit here. I'm at the lowest expansion level at 6 dB, so I can slowly increase it, and you can start to hear it pumping and breathing. So you can actually hear the expansion happening. So that's working good. All the switches are quite noiseless, so it was a good thing I cleaned it out. And you can see everything's working quite well. So the idea is to just find where you're expanding it without causing the pumping and breathing too much, similar to a DBX, 1BX, or 3BX dynamic range expansion unit, only an older model. But thing is working flawlessly now. So the next step is to will be to go through the board and change out all the capacitors. I'm still sitting on the fence as to whether I'll do the other transistors, but since they seem to be working quite fine. But at least I have the spare parts available if I need them. Plus I do other Pioneer units, so make them in handy for another unit. So there you have it. A successful repair of the Pioneer RG-1. I'm very satisfied with the sound. I'm going to finish off the recap job and I'll button it all together, and then I'll do another video once that's all done and see if there's any difference between where it is now and where it is later. And of course there is in the manual, the service manual calls for doing a calibration. I'm looking at the levels and they seem to be quite well. I don't know if that's going to change when I change out all the caps. And I probably will have to do a calibration as per the service manual. I got to source some an oscilloscope and some other signal generator and all that stuff. But that shouldn't be hard. I'm actually working on doing that because I should have them anyway. So there you go. Thanks for watching. It was a fun project. Thank you.